Hi friends! In today's video, I'm going to be teaching you how to find your style or dress in a specific aesthetic, and I'm going to be teaching this in a very step-by-step, clear, concise way so that it makes the entire process easier. First of all, I just want to say thank you for clicking on this video, and let's just get into it. This first step is actually pretty fun. I would totally recommend doing this over the span of like a week or 2 weeks, just so it's not like super stressful. But the first step is to curate your style by finding Instagram photos, TikTok videos, screenshots, anything like that, Pinterest boards, anything like that of things that you like outfit-wise. It is 100% okay to have repeats of photos, repeats of outfits that are similar to each other, things that look really close together. If anything, that's going to make the process easier. I wouldn't recommend taking only one photo of one aesthetic that you like and one photo of another aesthetic that you like. I would totally get as many photos as you can of just things that you like. They also don't have to be full outfits. They can be top up, they can be bottom down, anything like that. Just make sure you take pictures of them, screenshot them, and I would totally recommend creating your own private Pinterest board. If you don't have a Pinterest account, you can just, it's really easy to create, and you can throw in any of your screenshots, any photos like that into a private Pinterest board, which I would 100% recommend. Step 2, once you have this Pinterest board or collection of photos created, it's important to note what colors are being used, what the fit of the clothes look like, what trends do you tend to follow if you know the trends that are going on right now. So it's important to look at these things because if you tend to like, you know, tight bottoms, then we know that it's probably not imperative for you to go out and buy a bunch of big streetwear sweatpants or big long poofy skirts. By looking at the patterns that you tend to follow and things that you like or dislike, this way we can see what you will actually wear, because that is the most important part. I would totally suggest like writing the things that you find about yourself like in your notes app, just in case. There can also totally be anomalies, like say a lot of your Pinterest boards have a bunch of mini skirts. That doesn't mean you only need to buy mini skirts, but maybe you should probably have a few on hand, and maybe you should have like a pair of, you know, pants or jeans that you like. It doesn't have to be all the same. Same goes with color. If there is a color that you know does not look good on you, then generally speaking, you probably won't be wearing it all that often unless you want to step out of your comfort zone. Like for me personally, I don't have a lot of neon green bright clothing because that's not something that I like. Even if it's in a photo that I like, it's not something that I will go out and buy or honestly even thrift. Even if I get it for like a really good deal, or I see something neon for a really good deal and it has a great cut and it fits me perfectly, I probably won't be buying it just because I know that I will not wear it as often as I should. Step number 3, once you have this collection of photos curated and you've figured out what type of like colors you tend to lean towards, how the fit of the clothes are, what type of trends you tend to be following, once you have found that information, I want you to look at the basics that are used in each photo. Your basics in the photo are going to be things that are neutral colors, things that match with everything. So those colors are black, white, denim, khaki, and gray. That will make it like easier to like check if what you're looking at is a basic or not. However, I will say solid blocks of colors that are like pastel or like light in color can also be seen as a basic depending on the outfit. So that list isn't necessarily the end all be all of like your basics in an outfit. However, it does make the whole like searching easier. So basics can include, are there a lot of people wearing tank tops with bows in your photo like this? Are there a lot of people wearing crop tops with like minimal designs on them? Are there people wearing a lot of jeans? Is there a lot of denim material? Are a lot of people wearing sweats? Are a lot of people wearing mini skirts with tights that are black? Are a lot of people wearing black boots or even red boots that aren't necessarily the brightest color red? Once you have found the basics that your style tends to call for, it's important to now at this point accumulate them in your closet to make styling easier. For step 4, what you're gonna do is you're gonna find the statement pieces in each photo, or the statement pieces that make up the aesthetic. If there are specific statement pieces that repeat or show up more than once, then it's important to like make a note of those ones in your head, but sometimes it's not the case that they show up more than once. Sometimes it only shows up once, and that's totally fine. But if there are patterns, make sure to note specifically, I like earmuffs, or I like big furry coats, or things like that, like in your either notes app or in your head, so that when you see these items, you buy them. For the items that you don't necessarily have repeats of in your photos, make sure to kind of figure out what is it about that item that is making the statement. Is it the color of the item? Is it the texture of the item? Is it the fabric? What's being used as the medium? Or is it such a funky, cool object or design that makes it a statement item? Kind of important to, I would say, differentiate between the statement in color and texture or medium necessarily at this point in time, because you want to learn about yourself. You want to know your own patterns, what you tend to like. I don't personally tend to go with a lot of statements with color. I tend to go with a lot of statements that have texture. So I like things with fur. I like things with added fabric on top. Things like that. Sometimes I like a pop of color if it's a red, or if it's a pink. Or sometimes I like something that makes more of a statement just by being a little bit more scandalous. Something like that. I would also say I don't necessarily tend to lean towards patterned things unless it's like a pointelle pattern. I don't really tend to go towards like plaids or anything like that. I never really have. So it's important to know yourself so that when you walk into any sort of store that you're going to, whether that be a thrift store, a consignment store, or a real life actual store, that you know yourself so you're not just buying something willy-nilly. Step number 5 at this point in time is to now freeball. Once you have accumulated a handful of items, at this point, don't be afraid if your items are not exactly the same as the photos that you have accumulated. If you need a black tank top with a bow on it, it's okay if you settle for a black t-shirt that has a bow on it. The same idea will get across the same sort of stylistic patterns that are shown in your curated photos. I would also say at this point, don't be afraid of like what other people are thinking about you. I know that's easier said than done for some people, but honestly, nobody cares. Nobody cares. I think an important thing to think of is like, if you think people are judging you, I want you to think to yourself, have I ever judged someone for wearing sweatpants with socks? No, I've never judged somebody for that. I've never stopped a conversation and made fun of them for that. Generally speaking, the answer is going to be no, because it's 100% acceptable to just be who you are, do whatever you want, and yeah. Generally speaking, like, nobody cares. So that's the beauty of it, right? If you liked this video, or if you think that it helped you in any sort of way, please like and subscribe if you would like to see more content from me, and I will see you in my next video. Bye bye.